Welcome to Haxby Shed and part 3 of servicing this Harrison universal milling machine, which was new to me quite recently. And you'll see me finishing cleaning up the table whilst it was off the machine, and then I take the selector plate off the main gearbox and clean out all the crud from the inside and then fill it with oil. Sounds like a quick job, but it was a little bit involved. Now, obviously the videos run a bit behind what's happening today, and in fact just yesterday I fitted the new motor bearings for the main motor, but I managed to break the pulley while I was taking it off the motor, and I tigged it back up yesterday. I just need to clean that up a little bit, but that's in videos that you might see in the future. So anyway, on we go. I hope this is useful to you. At the end, I might just throw in a little bit of video that we took at Centre Parks recently of the Christmas lights. I've had to mute the music so that the YouTube bots don't get me. Right, I've got an hour, so I'll have a look at this. Whilst I'm doing this, the video for tomorrow is rendering. The paint in the bedroom is drying. Tonight we've got the dinner for my eldest grandson's 18th. That was a bit of a surprise to him and a surprise to me, because I'd already cancelled something and now the dinner's on, so I'm having to cancel the something. I mean, it's all very well. It's good, it's all to the good, but I always put myself under too much pressure, that's the problem. I enjoy being busy. I'll have to do something else. That ain't working, is it? Just thinking about this some more, I'm asking myself, what stops the lead screw here from coming in and out? Now I could see that if I had a nut on there, it would stop the lead screw going that way, and the back of this sleeve would stop it coming this way. And of course I've just relieved this slightly. So does that mean that the lead screw would be, free to flap about? Well, it's not had a nut on there for so long, and actually when I pull the nut unit and I pull on this thread on the lead screw, it doesn't move at all. So I'm guessing that it's held captive at the far end, at the motor end. But this is something I can explore a little bit further with it on the machine. It's easier to work on that way. And it can't be right that the sleeving in here, this sleeve which runs through to the back, is so tight at this end that you can't get the oil through it to lubricate it. That can't be right, can it? So, we'll think about that when it's the right way up and on the machine. Something going on here, look, with this lead screw. It's bent about 0.7, 0.8 mil, something like that. So I'll give it a smack with a mallet. Don't know if this will make any difference. I might have to keep going at it. It's actually slightly better, look. A bit more. About the same. Leave me with this. Maybe I'll leave it as it is, actually. Don't know. Well, I've moved on and I'm now working on the traverse motor. And I'm just cleaning it really, but look, I found this greasing point which is broken, or it's an odd design. Anyway, I'm managing to get it out. It's tucked in there right at the top of that motor. It's the top when the table's the right way up. Now if I can figure out what it is, we'll get it out. Ooh, it looks a bit metric to me, that. We'll get it out, and you probably can't see, can you? But there we are. Let's hope this stays in focus. Now it is cranked by design, but you can see nothing would clip onto that. So I'm hoping what I can do is screw in another cranked fitting, but screw this second part in after the first part's screwed into the motor. Maybe, otherwise this will just go back in. Right, I found this really tatty old fitting that I had, but if I clean it up, I'm hoping I can unscrew this piece, screw this main body in, and then screw this in afterwards. Because this one, even if it was designed like this, it's quite damaged. Well, my first attempt at this was a fail, but I've managed to find a combination of grease fittings that work. Actually, it was quarter UNF, not 6mm by 1 as I thought. This screw here goes in a hole here, and I managed to get it out. Looking at the manual, I could see that behind here there's actually a big ring plate, so the thread that goes into is captive, so I was safe to take it out, and it just squeezes out of the hole. Now, whether I'll get my grease gun on here, I don't know, but at least I would stand a chance. It's dry as anything inside, so I don't think it's ever been greased at all. But I think that's quite a good result, actually. Try not to strip it. That'll do. And then that, you won't be able to see the hole, but it just drops in there like that. So hopefully I can get it in. Hopefully I can get it in without catching that fitting I've just put in there. Well, that was against the odds, but look. So when I get the proper grease, there'll be some going in there. I've done about as much as I want to with this table upside down. Now I've put this nut unit back into here. I just want to show you how this knob works. With it pulled out and with the table clamped locked, I can turn this handle. This doesn't move, but it would still be turning the gear on here, which would be driving the dividing head, in which case you can cut circles, if you know what I mean. If I drop this in, and I have to unclamp the table in a moment, now that's dropped in, now the table nut is effective, just unclamp it, hang on, and so it moves as you'd expect. So that way, if you had the dividing head geared on here, you could be cutting spirals. There's something a bit strange with the lid of that gearbox there, look. There, it's sticking up. We'll sort that out when the table's on the machine. But otherwise, that's it for now. If I put it on the machine, I'll either walk into it or I'll bang my head on it. So I'll get the rest of the machine done first. I want to drain the oil from the gearbox. I don't know what the quantity is, so we'll measure it as it comes out. It's a 14mm plug here. I've got a measuring jug. This is 1 litre. I've got another, which is 1 litre. Sorry, hands in the way. That's coming up to 1. Yeah. Now then, I'm on the wrong side. 1's about here somewhere. It's not much over 2 litres actually. And then I need about half a litre maybe for the vertical milling head. A number of people have asked about the lubricants for this machine, and you can see part of the table which is on the side. Mobil and Shell are shown there, but across to the right there's also SO, BP, Texaco and Castrol. For the gearbox I bought ISO 220, which looks like the modern equivalent. I normally look up the Shell equivalents. For greasing the bearings on the table motor and also the bearings on the vertical head, I've bought the equivalent Shell Gaddis S2V 103, I'll show that in a second. And then for the slideways, the Shell is Vitria Oil 41 or Mobil Vectra Heavy Oil. I haven't bought that oil yet, I need to look up and see what it is. For the time being, I've been using just some motor oil, some clean new motor oil, just to flush out all the grease, but I will buy the proper stuff. This is the grease I've bought, about £10.50 delivered, so that's about $12.50 US. A few days ago, I drained the oil from this gearbox, ordered the new oil, it's arrived, ISO 220 is the equivalent, but I found out that there's sludge in the bottom of this gearbox. I thought about using flushing oil, but the flushing oil is more expensive than the running oil, so I thought, oh gosh, what the heck, I will simply take these covers off, see what I can find. Ugh. I moved the bucket of waste oil so I couldn't put my foot in it. The spring here comes, well, actually right up to the surface. So it must be quite strong. I see it. And breathe. You know, I bought these Imperial 3/8 drive long Allen keys some time ago for just one size, and I thought, I'm never going to use these. And guess what? Now then, the ball bearing's still behind there. I couldn't get it out with the magnet, so just got to be careful. Come on, ball bearing, don't get lost. Well, hey, good. Number 4 coming out. 2 down here, 2 up above. They all look the same length, but you can't be sure, can you? Better watch out for those shaft seals. Actually, it's not as frightening as I thought it might be. There we are. Well, on first inspection it doesn't look too bad. It just seems to have collected the sludge in the bottom there. Nothing is clanking at me like a bit of metal or a tooth broken off. Ooh, there's loads of sludge in that back corner. Yucky. Quick inspection of the gears. That's in neutral. It's running very smoothly. I wonder if I can put it into gear with the one above, that is. Get my fat hand in there, hold on. There we go. Oh yeah. It all looks fine to me. That's an oil spinner, this bit at this end here. Torch is in the way, sorry. That's it. So I think it's just a case of cleaning that out now. It's lovely, isn't it? Could be a slow job, this. Let's try the magnet stick. No bits. Nothing to speak of anyway. No teeth. No chips. Really, nothing. You see, I said there was nothing wrong with this. I told you not to worry. Says he. Oh, we've got to get that back corner there. Just brake cleaner. And it's all flushing it out of here. As long as I don't smoke, we'll be all right. I don't smoke, actually, anyway. We had the first ice in the puddles this morning, so it's getting a bit chilly in here now. I didn't need to take these knobs off, did I? Allowed me to check it though. And you can see the interlock mechanism here. And these are the selectors. I've put the 2 levers back on without the indexing balls and springs. I needed to get them in the right place, obviously. There's a couple of clues to that. The first is this interlock needs to be in the centre when these 2 are straight up. And also I could see the marks where the grub screws had clamped on these shafts. Now, we get these 2 shoes here, selector shoes. This one, sort of square. This one, not square. Which way up do they go? Well, I can actually see some line marks across here, but I don't know if it's that way or that way. And this one, for a bit more complication, look, has a cutout. So that probably has to go the right way around. Now look in the manual, and the manual helpfully says shoe and shoe. They're different numbers in the manual, but it doesn't tell me anything beyond that. And actually in the manual they look this shape, not different like that one is. Well, my first test fit went fine. I must have guessed right. I could see some wear lines on these, and I figured that probably the shaft that they contacted with was just a bit higher than this centre. And so I put them this way up, and they work fine. So a little bit of cleaning around here, a tiny bit of silicone, and we'll put that in and let it go off. Well, these select okay, look. No nasty crunching noises. But what I did learn was not to tighten these up too much where these springs are, because if you screw those right into the bottom where they bottom out, it locks it. You can't turn the knob. So there probably isn't a stop at the bottom of that hole. It probably just compresses the spring completely. Well, now we get to put the oil in, and it feels like we're more than halfway through getting this thing running now. 1 litre is up to here. We got about 2.2 litres out, and I think that's 3.9 imperial pints, or 2.3 US quarts. ISO 220 oil. This is going to take a while to go down. That's 2 litres going in. No sign of it on the glass yet. Well, I was a bit low in my estimate. That's 2.6 litres settling in there now. I've put a copper washer on this plug. No need for it strictly, but I prefer to do it. I do wonder if it hadn't got a bit of water in here, because it doesn't seal all that well, certainly with no washer on it. And the top of here, this beam above is rusty, so perhaps there was a bit of water on this. Could have got into the gearbox. Would that cause sludge? Don't know. Obviously I'm going to say this feels fantastic now to justify my investment, but it does feel good. That's on 67. That's on 1500. And is the new oil thicker? Well, there's a bit of it on here. Take a bit of this, the old stuff. I think it probably is, actually. Just a little. This one, the new one's certainly stickier at this temperature. I think so.